Look, we've all seen the videos. 10 ways to make $1 million if you're broke. How to start a conversation with an attractive girl. Get abs in 60 days using science. But here's the thing. It does not matter how tall or how fast a tree grows. If it doesn't have deep roots, as soon as it gets windy, it's just gonna blow over. And it is the same with our self-improvement journey. Even if a sexy girl just fell into your lap tomorrow and became your girlfriend, or you got gifted $1 million, or maybe you did a 3-month steroid cycle and just blew up and got huge and jacked, unless you've already done this, then you're just destined to lose it all anyway. The girl is gonna leave you, the money is gonna disappear. Like, bro, even when it comes to building a luxury home like this one that we just constructed, do you know what the most important part of the house is? This is also the most expensive part of the house. It is the foundation. It takes a very long time to properly excavate the land. They have to make sure the soil conditions are right. They have to take into account for the temperatures, how much sheetrock is down below the surface. And if it is not done precisely correctly, it is going to lead to cracks in the foundation down the line. The foundation can actually shift and potentially there's going to be disaster. And that is why in this video, we're going to take a look at 3 easy yet critical steps you must take to get started with self-improvement. And even if you've already been on this path for a few years, if you're not seeing the progress add up as quickly as you would like, then I can pretty much guarantee it's because you've not taken care of these 3 things yet. And until you do, all the effort that you make is going to be for nothing. And you're going to be Number 1, 100% evaporation of ego. So, do you know what is the very first thing they do before they build a house? They take a look at the land. And oftentimes there's different slopes in the land. Maybe there's some big trees in the way or some big boulders sitting there. Because if they were to ignore these things and just pour the concrete anyway, it's gonna be fucked up. It's not gonna work. There's not gonna be a house. And we gotta do the same thing, man, because none of us have a perfect plot of land to start with. We all have our obstacles that need to be removed before we can get started on self-improvement. Here's what I mean. Right now, if your dating life is not where you want it to be, you probably still have had some success, some luck in the past where you had a girlfriend before, you hooked up with a really attractive girl one time, and maybe that seems like a good thing, but it's actually what's fucking you because it makes you feel like you know something about your dating life. When you don't know shit. If right now you cannot consistently create opportunities with the types of high-level girls that you want, you don't know shit. It's like you walked into the casino, played the slot machine a few times, and you got lucky. That's not a skill. That's not something you can depend on. Like, it's hard to accept that you've already lived 18 or 25 or 35 years on this planet and you essentially have nothing to show for it. None of us want to admit that to ourselves. Yeah, maybe right now you have a job that pays you a little bit of money and that allows you to get by each month. But if your goal financially is to have true financial freedom and to work for yourself, well, guess what, bro? You don't know shit. Like, you're nowhere close to being there yet, and trying to trick yourself to feeling like you already have an idea of how to get there, that's what's screwing you. For example, maybe right now you're struggling to meet and attract high-quality girls and you're living in a smaller town. Well, I would tell you your number 1 priority above everything else needs to be moving to a larger city within the next 3 to 6 months. But maybe you think that doesn't seem necessary. I can make it work in this town. I'll just drive to the city more often or something. Who the fuck are you to make that decision? If you knew best, you wouldn't be in this situation. Or maybe you want to start a YouTube channel. I would tell you the most important thing is to already start uploading 2 YouTube videos per week and improve from there. But maybe you think, I don't really feel ready to get started yet. And when I get started, I think I'll start with 1 YouTube video per week. Bro, what the fuck do you know? What qualifies you to make that decision? Like, if this is step 0, that empty plot of land, right now you're likely at step -1 or -2 because you're holding on to this ego, to this sense of self-importance that things aren't that bad and you're actually in a pretty decent spot. And the wild thing is, when I finally accepted in my life, I don't know shit. I'm nobody. I literally have to start from ground zero and build myself into the man I want to be. That moment was actually very freeing because no longer did I feel like I had to live up to this fake identity that I didn't have. No longer did I have to feel like I had to pretend that I was good with girls when I was talking to my friends. And that's when I started to make progress, because that's when I actually was able to implement the advice that I was seeing in YouTube videos or reading in self-improvement books without getting in my own way. Like, I could finally just follow the steps and actually implement everything without making excuses. Now, look, I know at the beginning, it can be very scary. It can feel like you're alone. It can feel a bit hopeless. Like, is it even possible to change my life, get a cute girlfriend, start making money online? I've been there, man. And that is why I created Beast Nation. Beast Nation gives you literally all of the tools you need to break through to that next level as fast as humanly possible by allowing you to get help directly from the experts who are ahead of you. The guys in Beast Nation get weekly coaching calls with myself so I can help you directly plan your next steps and overcome any obstacles that you're facing. There's step-by-step modules from experts we've brought in, including my own personal business mentor to help you launch your first side hustle and actually start making money online. You can use the interactive map to instantly find other members in your city so you can finally have that close friend who's on the self-improvement journey working alongside you. Not to mention in-person events with myself and the other members, monthly challenges and competitions to make sure you keep leveling up. This blows any other self-improvement community out there out of the water. Essentially, this is exactly what I wish I had back at the beginning of my self-improvement journey at a price point that I actually could have afforded back then. Just go to thebeastnation.com or click that first link down in the description to learn more, see some testimonials, and join up now. Hopefully I see you on the next coaching call this weekend. Let's get back to the video. Number 2, do not leave the comfort zone. And I know that sounds backwards, like, no, I gotta leave my comfort zone, bro. Like, I know that's where the progress happens, but maybe your understanding of the comfort zone is not where it needs to be yet. So when they're building a house, what's the second thing they do after they have that clean piece of land? They set the form boards so that when they pour the concrete, it stays in the shape they want it to be. And they also put a rebar inside so it has that secure base. And that's what you gotta do next also. You have to give yourself that secure base for your foundation. So right now, your life looks a certain way, and I know if you're watching this video, you're hungry for more, but where you are now, likely you're surviving, you're somewhat comfortable, and it's sustainable. Like, if you didn't change anything and you didn't improve, I know that wouldn't be ideal, but you wouldn't die. For me, that was back when I was working an office job after graduating university. I hated it. It drained me of energy, but it was a paycheck and there was some room for growth in my career. And because of that, it was difficult to leave it, even though I hated it. Well, one day I had this wild realization. This is after months of wanting to quit that job and become a personal trainer, something that seemed a lot more exciting to me at the time. And the realization I had was this. David, I told myself, I think that even if we try to do this personal training thing and we fail, I think we could probably apply to a bunch of other software companies like the one we're working at now, and we could get another job in software. Like, why is there any reason that wouldn't work? Like, that was my big light bulb moment. That was the first domino to fall. Once I quit that job,
hey, listen, I quit.
Very quickly, I started to put myself out there with women. I got in really good shape. I launched this YouTube channel, and that's what led me to building the businesses and getting to where I am today. And I was only able to push that first domino over and start that chain reaction because I realized, well, the worst case is this shit doesn't work out. I'm struggling for the next 6 months, and then I just get back a job doing the same shit I'm doing now. All right, that kind of makes sense. Like, think about that. Whatever your current status quo is, even if you take this big risk that you're thinking about and it doesn't work out, you can always go back to the same career that you have. Or if you're single right now, maybe you're happy with your career, but you want to put yourself out there with women. Guess what? If over the next 6 months you go out and get rejected 100 times and it doesn't work out and you don't get that beautiful girlfriend, well, you can still go back to the comfortable solo, routine that you have going on now without any women in your life. That's still going to be there waiting for you. Let that sink in. That is your security blankets. We all have a security blankets. And if right now you're like, well, if I left this job, I don't know that I could get another job again. Well, bro, you're in a tough spot already. The countdown clock is already ticking for you. If you have no skills to get yourself another job, and in your case, you should definitely take that leap even sooner because you need to put yourself in a position that you're not relying on luck to be able to financially support yourself. This is your sign. Push over that first domino, take that risk, because even if everything goes to shit and the worst case scenario happens, well, guess what? You'll just end up back where you are now. And that's all right. Number 3, no plan B. And we're not talking about the pregnancy drug. We're talking about your life. You can just say, I don't know if that's funny or not. Number 3, no plan B. So back when I wanted to start making serious changes to my life, I notice now looking back that I had this tendency to always want and dabble. Dabble meaning I just wanted to get my toes wet and see what it was about. When I decided I wanted to meet more women, I just started going to the bars and clubs, once every week or every other week, just to kind of see what the playing field was looking like. And from time to time, I'd have a few drinks, start a conversation with the girl. Maybe you download the apps, swipe a little bit here and there. You're just getting your toes wet, just feeling it out. Back when I wanted to get started making content, I uploaded, a few YouTube videos over the course of 3 or 4 months. I started a blog and posted a few blog posts up there. I was taking action. I was implementing some steps. I was seeing what it was like. Maybe you've always wanted to get jacked, so from time to time, you'll go to the gym for a few weeks, get a good pump, go for a run sometimes, try and eat healthy. The fucking problem with all of this shit is that I was operating like this new thing I wanted to try, or this part of my life I wanted to try. That was my plan B. My plan A was just maintaining the status quo, continuing to do the things that I was doing. And plan B was, to maybe, try and meet some more girls, or maybe try and get in better shape, maybe try and make a little money online. You know what I'm saying, bro. What are you dabbling in right now? Comment below right now. What have you been dabbling in over the last few months? Getting your toes wet. Well, guess what? Dabbling will not pay the bills. There was 2 or 3 years where I was self-improving. I thought I was, at least. I was taking 3 steps forward, then 4 steps backward. I was just spinning my wheels in place, not seeing any real substantial progress. And that only changed when I made it my plan A to finally get in the best shape of my life. And that was my primary focus. I woke up thinking about it. I went to bed thinking about it. I went to the gym. I wrote down every exercise I did, what weight I used, how many repetitions I did. I counted my calories every single day. There was no excuses. There was no missed workouts. That was my purpose. No, I wasn't talking to any girls at the time. I wasn't starting my own business, but I was fucking dedicated to getting jacked. And guess what? After 3 months, I already saw crazy changes in my body for the first time ever. Before that, maybe I'd look a little leaner after I went running a lot, but that was the first time I was like, damn, I'm actually seeing some results here. And guess what? After I got into a spot where I was really fit and I was happy with myself, then I made it my plan A to get women, to get the bitches, to get the fishes. Every single day I would approach at least one girl, even if I just went to the grocery store after work and chatted up some random girl in the cereal aisle. I took better photos of myself, started swiping on the apps, actually setting up 2 or 3 dates a week. I went out every weekend with 2 or 3 buddies and tried to approach as many girls as I could. There was no more dabbling. That was the fucking mission. I was still maintaining, the work I was doing at the time for that software job. I was still maintaining the body that I had built up before that. But my plan A, I was laser dialed in on the women. And then after that, it was this YouTube channel. That's when I dedicated myself to not just uploading 2 videos per week, but to make sure that every single video I improved something. I was speaking with more confidence. I was adding, a different background beat. I was trying different transitions. And that year, my channel went from nothing up to 100,000 subscribers. Just like that, man. Just because I finally made it my plan A. And you don't do this for multiple things at once. Whatever the one part of your life right now is that would mean the most for you, if you could change it and see improvement there, that needs to be your plan A. You need to breathe that shit. You need to sleep dreaming about that thing. You need to be sitting on the toilet plotting your next steps for that thing. That's the type of energy that it takes to actually make a change. And if you actually put into practice these 3 steps, you forget everything you know, accept your role as a complete beginner, you realize that the worst case scenario is ending up back where you are now, and you prioritize one area of your life, well, guess what? Now you are officially on the path of self-improvement, and I can't fucking wait to see where you are a year from now, bro. And if you're serious about getting started on this now and putting in the work, then you need to watch that video next. That is about 7 steps to going ghost mode. That's what allowed me to accelerate my progress extremely quickly at the beginning. Click there to watch that now. If you're new to the channel, click down there to subscribe, as I drop 2 new videos every single week and you don't want to miss them. I'll talk to you in the next video. I appreciate you, bro. Stay beastly.